Welcome to MMA Fancast. My name is Luke Payson. As always, welcome back to everyone who's already a subscriber to the show. If you're not already a subscriber, please subscribe to the MMA Fancast YouTube channel. That way you can see more great interviews, including the one coming at you right now. A big welcome back to a former guest on the show and a repeat guest right now, Chance. Grillot. Chance, welcome back to the show.
Hey, how's it going, man?
Great to have you back to the show. You are going into your 8th amateur fight. You've got a lot of experience. You fought for 247 fighting championships a couple different times. I've also seen you fight outside of 247. It's really great to have you back in 247. Brawl in the Burgh 20 is going to be a great show. You're one of the 8 fights that they've already announced. It's already an incredible show, you included in just what they've announced. It's going to be probably a 12 to 14 fight card. It's going to be absolutely incredible. Let's talk about jumping back on to 247. What had you say yes to this fight? Was it more that you wanted to fight for 247? Was it more you wanted to fight your opponent? Kind of what had you say yes to this fight?
Honestly, just wanted to fight, try to get as many opportunities as I can and try to fit in as many as I can. Time's short, so got to do as many as you can.
Makes perfect sense. You're a very entertaining fighter, and I'm trying to look here. You had a win for 247 against Anthony Morris. Oh yeah, I remember that one. And then you fought a couple different times as well. So you're back this time matched up versus Craig Perry. You come in with a 3-4 record. He comes in with a 2-3 record. Seems like a great matchup. I've watched him fight and you fight. What do you know about Craig? If you know anything about Craig, what do you know about him? And then talk a little bit about why you think this is going to be a great fight for the fans.
Yeah, as far as I know, I mean, really the only thing I know about him is just the videos I've seen of his fights. Looks like a quick, strong kid, like good striker. That's really about it. Don't know him personally or anything, but I think it'll be a fun fight for sure.
Yeah, I think it'll definitely be a fun fight. I'm always excited to not be a judge and just enjoy the fight and talk about the fight while it's happening, because I think you guys both have the capabilities of putting on really entertaining fights. Craig's story, which is known and obvious, is that he started out with an 0-3 start to his amateur career and has now put 2 wins together. You guys are both just 1 fight under 500. And what do you think it's like to be 3-4, him be 2-3? You're still very talented fighters. You're still very experienced fighters that still can have a career in MMA, but you're just 1 win away from being 500. And what do you think that means as far as your motivation and maybe your opponent's motivation? Because in a way, only one of you will be 500 after this fight.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know about his motivation, but I mean, I assume it's kind of the same as mine. It sucks to be under 500 for sure. Obviously, you'd like to be batting 1,000, but sometimes it don't happen. But yeah, I think we're both going to come out and try to get that win.
Yeah, indeed, and I think that's what makes and hats off. That's what makes this an exciting fight. It's a great matchmaking by the legendary matchmaker Jim Mooney. You and Craig both are fighters that love the sport, are very entertaining. Sure, not every fight has gone your way or his way, but the fact that both of you are still so exciting to watch, I think makes a big difference. Let's talk about the fact that this will be an advanced amateur fight. I know at this point in your amateur career, you'll always be fighting advanced amateurs because at that level in both Pennsylvania, and I've seen you fight West Virginia, they have slightly different rules, but it's similar. What do you think it's like? I know it's been a little bit since you fought novice to advanced. What do you like about advanced? Your opponent Craig has also fought advanced before. I personally think the advanced amateurs, once somebody has some experience and can show that they are capable of fighting, is a really great rule set.
Yeah, as far as advanced goes, I mean, I don't know. I like the rules better. The novice rules are kind of weird, like the no shots to the head on the ground is kind of strange, and I kind of prefer shots to the head on the ground. But West Virginia's got, more of a laxed rule set, I'd say for sure. Like you can be 0-0 and throwing head kicks and shots to the ground. So it's kind of nice in that aspect. But as far as like fighter longevity, I get why PA's rule set's a little bit different.
Yeah, and I think I always bring it up in the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania as a good thing. I mean, I think one downside of no, brand new fighters, maybe they don't have the experience and they're outclassed. That can happen when debut fighters fight, and we never want to see it. But with head kicks, I know Virginia has elbows allowed on the ground as an no fighter, and sometimes that might be a bit much for somebody to adjust to. I like the fact that advanced amateurs are 3 minutes. No shin guards. I think for most average fans, it kind of looks like a pro fight, both in talent and also the fact that nobody's wearing shin guards longer rounds. I think that's the point. You are currently on just a touch of things not going your way, in the last couple fights coming in. And before we talk, maybe get your prediction or your specific ideas on this fight. I see on Tapology that you're also scheduled after, so it's not like you're squeezing a fight in before. I know contracts sometimes state how quickly you can fight. I know 247 has a contract clause, so obviously you're not violating that. But we're going to have you on for the Preston fight. But what's it like? Because I know in amateur, sometimes it's feast or famine. Sometimes you get matched multiple, fights back to back, which is exciting. And sometimes you're looking 6-8 months or more for a fight. So what's it like being matched in early March? It looks like you're matched for March 9th. So what's the idea of taking pretty close together fights and just get your thought on that, and then we'll swing back to the 247 fight.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of had that fight lined up first, and then 247 reached out to me, and talked to my coaches, feeling good in training, and like I said, just want to get more opportunities to fight and compete as much as I can. So talked with my coaches, was seeing how I was feeling and practice and everything, and decided screw it, let's do both of them.
Yeah, and when you talk about that's an incredible attitude. You're not only an entertaining fighter, like we've talked about a couple times tonight, but you're also somebody that you said, time short. By the time you do the Craig Perry fight and then the Preston Starcher fight, after that, you'll have fought 9 amateur fights, which, that's a really good number of amateur fights. And I think, like to your point, it's all about the development, it's all about getting experience, staying busy. And so it's really cool. It's really cool to meet fighters like you. And there's other fighters out there that do the same thing. And I think that's what's exciting. And then if a fighter wants to fight one time a year, hats off to them as well. Obviously, it's no problem if that's the time frame they want to fight on, but it doesn't really allow, I think, for some of the development that fighting more often can be. Do you
Yeah.
have a prediction you want to make? This is Brawl in the Burgh 247 Fighting Championships. Just an incredible show at the Murraysville Sports Event Center. It's the first time they're going to be at that event center. It's going to be an incredible show. I've lost track, but you're probably one of 3 or 4, I think 4 or 5. Actually, it's a huge number. Probably 5 advanced amateur fights, plus at least 2 pro fights that have been announced. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, 5 advanced amateur fights. I think that matters as far as, I mean, you'll fight whatever, but as far as the fans go, 5 advanced amateur fights and 2 pro fights, plus all the amateur fights as well. That's a really great card. But what is your thoughts and prediction coming in against Craig Perry February 24th?
I mean, I don't know. I don't really do predictions. Obviously, I'm going for the win, but fighting, you never know what happens. But I think it'll be a good fight no matter what. We'll both go out there, swing some hands, and see who comes out on top.
Well, that is the fight game. It's always great to have you on the show to talk. I've enjoyed following you. I want to continue to follow you. People need to get tickets for in person at 247fighting.com. And this time, unlike other fights, there aren't physical tickets from fighters. It's actually to make it easier. So anybody that's watching this that wants to support Chance, obviously the goal here is to make sure they pick your name. So it's an obvious thing. 247 has changed it. You have to pick a fighter. There used to be an option where you, I guess, could select none or whatever. In this case, you have to pick a fighter. They pick your name. It's just like buying the tickets directly from you. Makes it a little bit simpler and easier. You're fairly close, but if people are going to stay at home and not come in person, then it's a great time to shout out downloading the 247 Live app and getting either a single pay-per-view or the recommendation, of course, from the owner, Ryan Middleton, which I think really is a good deal, is to get the year subscription, the monthly. It's $90 for a year, I think it is, or whatever it ends up being. And you get every pay-per-view and the catalog of fights. So if somebody gets the year subscription, they not only get to watch you at Brawl in the Burgh 20, but they get to watch every fight you've had and every fight that's ever been fought for 247. It's a really great deal. So just some shout outs there. Really appreciate you coming on the show, and hope to see, obviously I'll see you in person the 24th, but I hope to see a really great fight. It'll be really awesome to see you and Craig Perry throwdown at Brawl in the Burgh 20, 247 Fighting Championships, February 24th. My guest on MMA Fancast with Luke Basin has been Chance Grillot. Thanks so much, Chance.
Thanks for having me, man.
You take care.
You too.